boxing gyms and stuff that he telling you is for real. All right, I see a lot of other channels out there that be trying to pretend they don't know what the hell they talking about.
In the first few rounds, Nakatani was able to keep Hernandez at bay through the use of probes or the long guard with small reverse steps. As well as use feints to freeze him or make him shell up in an inactive high guard before following through with his more powerful rear hand. Nakatani would also intentionally throw out probes in order to bait Hernandez in responding with committal offense. The only occasional issue that Nakatani had with the lead hand was when he remained stationary when using his probes, which occasionally got countered similarly to a single mid-range jab. Furthermore, what Nakatani mostly did was step out of range either linearly or laterally in order to bait Hernandez to come into range either with or without offense with his feet unset, and would get beamed with disengagement and lateral traps. Hernandez made this easier when he would casually stroll into range. In order to avoid always backing out towards the ropes, Nakatani often circles towards the strong side while probing, pivots and shuffles towards the weak side, and ducks and smothers in an attempt to mitigate Hernandez's relentless pursuit. While this was effective in allowing Nakatani to win the majority of the rounds on the scorecards in the first half of the fight, his technical issues in employing said maneuvers would eventually cause him serious issues and almost completely change the momentum of the fight in Hernandez's favor during the latter half. When Nakatani would pivot to his opponent's weaker strong side, he often would drop his hands either as he stepped to the new angle or once he made it there, leaving him a sitting duck, especially for jabs. But the biggest issue by far for him was whenever he ducked in range. Without following a duck without either stepping back or smothering into range to force a reset, Nakatani was vulnerable to his opponent's physical controls and offense. When he did manage to duck and smother in an attempt to clinch, his clear lack of physicality and a control game became painfully evident. He often tried to smother while remaining in a high guard, in which the space between him and his opponent that his gloves would occupy was enough for them to deny the clinch or shorten their shots to get punches through. Other times, he would smother without controlling either one or both of his opponent's arms, allowing them to still work or push him off. Nakatani would occasionally stop controlling distance and try his luck in the 50-50 where he would get beat on because of these issues before eventually seeking escape routes. As a result, this led to him expending more energy trying to move laterally, which eventually tired him out, where he would begin moving back in straight lines, often collapsing his base by crosswalking or triangle stepping until he reached the ropes, where he would shell up in an inactive high guard, making it easier for Hernandez to close distance.
Sure, though, I kind of feel like he could do this. I said it earlier in the fight. I felt like Nakatani could fight all night long, but he's getting made to move more than he ever dreamt he would. I feel like, Hernandez, where he's trained at altitude, doing what he does, this is his kind of fight. I feel Mike could do this all night long.
Eventually, he was forced to work at an extremely high pace against a very physical, high-volume pressure fighter, in which he would frequently get outworked and bullied in the pocket. By round 10, it became clearly evident that Nakatani and his team were aware of how close this fight likely was on the scorecards, and began fighting in spots, frequently moving laterally, setting traps, and constantly turning Hernandez, which allowed him to outbox his one-dimensional opponent and prevent him from landing as many punches as he did in the middle rounds. While I'm hearing the word robbery get thrown out a lot, I believe there's a strong argument to say this extremely competitive fight could have easily gone either way. It would be more accurate to say that Nakatani got exposed for having a severely limited skill set in the pocket rather than robbing Hernandez for the upset of the year. The only real robbery was the judge who gave Nakatani 10 rounds on their scorecard. That didn't happen. I'm assuming they took a coffee break during the fight and wrote their scorecard ahead of time, but I'll digress. Without Nakatani improving on this is likely to happen again in the event that he's unable to secure early knockouts in his fourth weight class like he did in his previous 3, which can spell disastrous consequences, especially in his highly likely, though not confirmed, next fight. But that remains to be seen. Peace.
Fight fam. Boxing is called the sweet science for a reason. Every slip, every counter, every trap, it's all hidden in the details. At Boxing Gems, we break down those details frame by frame so fans can see the art behind the fight. If you enjoy our YouTube film studies and want to go deeper down the rabbit hole, Patreon is the place. It helps us keep producing high-quality breakdowns without worrying about algorithms, and it gives you exclusive access to the content that can't make it on the YouTube. Get extended live stream breakdowns with more detail and analysis. Ask your own questions in the 24/7 chats, decide what fights or fighters we cover, and get personalized private analysis. Your support means we can keep studying the sport we love and showing why boxing is the most beautiful science. Join the Boxing Gems community on Patreon and let's keep breaking down the fight game together. This is Ryan, professional boxing analyst and founder of Boxing Gems Film Study. Film don't lie.